Okay, YouTube, what's up? This is Food Junkie coming at you with another situation or another video. Um, okay, let's talk about it. Right now, there is this scandal going on involving privileged Caucasian students and people in prestigious universities. Now, we know that there are things in universities, especially prestigious universities, called legacies, which means if your father, grandfather, great-grandfather, uncle, whoever, someone in your family actually went to college went to a prestigious university, it's more likely that your chances of getting into that college is great because you have that legacy, you have that lineage that allows you to kind of bypass a lot of the gates and doors that regular people or people who have not had family members go to that college have to go through, or hoops they have to jump through. Well, the scandal or controversy is that the FBI have been conducting this investigation for over a year and found that some prestigious people have paid upwards to about $25 million in order to get their kids in college. You say, is that the scandal? No. The scandal, well, it is a scandal, but the real scandal is that these prestigious people have paid to have their SAT tests, their students or their children SAT tests frauded or taken for them, to have scores bumped up from what they had to make their application look better. They also have found that students have gained access to these prestigious colleges based on fraudulent sports situations, which means that they would be accepted into this college as a sports person. A bug outside. And when they got to college or got to the school, they faked the injury or went on the injury list, but still remained at that college. All this to say that there have been people and students put on wait lists or not accepted to these colleges who were qualified because of these payments being brought to the school by these prestigious people. Now, there's a whole list of people that we know of, that is on this list of this committing fraud. But two of the most famous people are Felicity Huffman, who's married to William H. Macy, and Lori Loughlin. Lori Loughlin played Uncle Jesse's wife, Lori, on Full House and Fuller House, a very Caucasian show. And Felicity Huffman played Desperate Housewives for years. Another very very Caucasian show. She also is a movie star as well. She played in the movie Transamerica, where she played a transgender woman struggling to get her son from they was on a road trip across the country, her and her son, and basically she was playing a transgender woman going through transition basically. Good movie, I liked it. She's a good actor. I can't knock her for her acting skills, her acting chops. But these are two Caucasian women, affluent Caucasian women. I say that to say, now let's look at the scandal of the Jussie Smollett situation. A black male actor who allegedly came up with a hoax to defraud and cause trouble in the Chicago area with the Chicago Police Department, who is now facing 16 felony charges of fraud. Now, Felicity Huffman was arrested and detained. Sorry, they said detained, but she was arrested. So was Lori Loughlin. Both arrested. First, let's see how many charges they're going to be hit with, and if those are felony charges. Secondly, let's see what their bail is. I think Felicity Huffman's bail was $250,000, which is a decent amount. She deserved to get that amount being charged to her. I read today that Lori Loughlin was just detained by the police. Now, we always look at the situations. Mind you, let's look at the situation involving Jussie Smollett. That was front page news. That was on everyone's tongue, everyone's lips for weeks. For weeks. Let's see if they out anyone else in this scandal involving this fraudulent college situation. Not only let's see if they out anyone else in this fraudulent college situation involving these affluent Caucasian people, let's see how long this conversation is on the main media's lips and radar. We need to be very clear and concise about what it is that's going on in this country right now. We will drag the black community, male or female, gay or straight, for weeks about a small story that may have been blown up or over-exaggerated in order to create a narrative that they want to create about the black community. But we will pass by or lightly brush the topics of huge scandalous situations involving many people opposed to the one Caucasian, many Caucasian people opposed to the one or two African American people. The narrative is Jussie Smollett is this horrible human being because he was alleged in doing this crime or alleged of telling a fake story. So yes, he must be taken off the streets and given 16 felony counts against him. Let's see how many felony counts these affluent Caucasians get for bribing, cheating, mail fraud, doctoring documents in this college scandal. Not only does this affect this one Caucasian affluent person and their children, how about the underprivileged people that did not or was not able to get into these prestigious colleges because of the fraud that was committed by these affluent Caucasian people? And the funny thing is, they're only charging the parents and not the universities who was embedded in this scandal, such as the coaches, the admissions officers, and things of that nature, nor are they charging the students themselves. Why is that? Why is the fact that they will not charge the students? You know you didn't get a 1600 on your SAT scores or 35 on your ACT scores. You know that you didn't play a sport like lacrosse or rugby or whatever affluent sports that these colleges signed you up to play. You know that. You also defrauded the university. You also defrauded and made it harder for someone who didn't have the affluence that you had to get by and to get in and to come up and get into that college. Why are you left unscathed? Your name should be drugged in the media just like every other person name is drugged in the media for doing something that is not right. No one is exempt. The parents definitely not exempt for paying the money. The college is definitely not exempt for allowing you to get into the college fraudulently because they got paid, or whoever it was, the admissions officers, the coaches, or whomever, I should say. And the student is definitely not exempt. You should be not only be brought up on charges of fraud and all these other things, because when I went to college, I had to submit an application, which is a federal document, which is a government document, and I had to apply for these colleges that I applied to and for through the mail, which is fraud. Mind you, they say this is a RICO case. RICO case means it covers state lines, it covers country lines and things of that nature. So if the parents, if the FBI have been building a RICO case against these parents, why aren't the kids being charged as well? And what's more disheartening is some of these students are still in school. It makes no sense. You got there fraudulently. You weren't qualified for it mentally and scholastically. That's the word, isn't it? Scholastically. And I pronounced it correctly. Go ahead, me. Let me be serious for a second. You didn't have the mental fortitude or the scholastic ability to get into these schools on your own merit. You should not still be there. But yet, some of these students are still there. And the students who have graduated from these universities based on fraudulent admissions and fraudulent applications get to keep their degrees. If not for you have been committed a fraud or a felony to get into that college, you wouldn't even have had that college, have had that degree from that college. And who was to say that your parents still wasn't buying grades for you when you got there? This runs so much deeper than just, oh, well, my mom knew someone. This runs so deep that it affects everyone. I don't want someone being my doctor or getting into medical school when you weren't qualified to do so. Now, mind you, when I went to college, went to school, I went to an HBCU, historically black college and university. Now, that's a different story because my experience wasn't the best, but I worked hard as hell to get in that university, that college. I worked hard as hell to keep my grades up. I worked hard as hell to get accepted to the many schools I was accepted to when I was going through that process of filling out what college I want to go to. I applied to HBCUs and I also applied to traditional colleges. I got accepted to all of them because I had the ACT scores and the SAT scores to do so, and the grades and the other requirements that these schools required for me to get there. As I stated previously in other videos, I recently, 2 years ago, graduated from an art school with a fashion design degree. My GPA there was 3.97. The cop is trying to come through. What are we doing here? Is it me? What's going on? Okay. That wasn't for me. Because you know nowadays, when a black man being pulled over by the cops, you never know what may happen. Anyways, so back to my video. Like I was saying, when I got accepted to colleges back in the day, I had to have, you know, all these merits and qualifications and things like that. I had to have, you know, I graduated from high school with what, a 3.7 GPA, was treasurer of my senior class, was Afro Prince, which is one of those royalty high school courts, such as Homecoming King and Queens, like that. I was the Afro Prince, or Afro King of my school. Things like that. Community involvement, community outreach involvement, church involvement, things like that. Extracurricular activities, played football, ran track, did all these different things that I did, you know, to beef up my college applications. What if I didn't get qualified, or what if I didn't get accepted to a college because someone has paid for their child who was less stellar than I was, less scholastically gifted than I was? I would have been pissed. I would have been upset about that. You know, these kids are on wait lists because these affluent Caucasian people choose to juke the system, choose to pay for things that their child does not deserve. Is it not enough that you have enough money to get whatever you want? Now you got to steal an education from someone who doesn't have the financial means to do so? You can afford to pay for your child to go to college, but yet you're taking away opportunities from people who are not financially gifted to do so, to pay for college. I'm just saying paying for college in itself is a burden to some families. Now you pay individuals to slide your child in there when your child's not gifted enough to do so. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. It makes no sense. It pisses me off, actually, because when you are trying to get into college, you work hard to do so. So you have some lackluster individual whose parent has a lot of money paying for them to get into college? That's straight ridiculous. It makes no sense whatsoever. And when I went back to school to get my fashion design degree, I saw how, say this in a way that I don't offend anyone. Well, shit, fuck if they get offended or not. They were stupid as fuck. They was dumb as hell. Now, being that it's an art school, you should have some type of art reference. You should have some type of reference point to draw on or to draw to. Granted, I was a little older than a lot of the kids or people that was in school with me at the second time around. So I have the wherewithal to understand references, and when they say mod, I know what that meant, or I didn't experience it firsthand. I just knew what it meant because I did research on things. I studied. I tried to look up things that I didn't know. So when I went to class the next day, I had a reference point to draw on or to refer to. When they said Rococo or something like that, I didn't know what it was initially, but I did my research on what Rococo is. I did my research on where the Greek key design actually came from. When someone says a column gown, I knew what that was. I knew what that referred to. If someone, if a professor was mentioning something and I didn't know what it was, I wrote it down, went home and did research on it. It takes that type of aptitude and that type of go-getiveness to be successful in whatever it is that you choose to do. And a lot of kids that I went to school with didn't have that. Granted, I don't know how they got into the program. Well, it's not what the case may be, but there was no here or there when I was there because I knew what I had to do to make sure that I was successful in accomplishing the goals that I wanted to accomplish. And the goal was never to get anything other than an A in all all my classes in the 3.5 years that I was back in school. When I got my 2 A minuses, I was pissed. Well, was it 3 A minuses? I was pissed at 2 of them because, 4 A minuses, I'm sorry. 4 A minuses I got when I was in school to bring my GPA from a 4.0 down to a 3.97. I was pissed at 2 of them because 2 of them, I didn't understand why I got A minus. So I went to the professor and asked, what's going on? Why did I get A minus? Why didn't I get any kind of feedback on what I could have done differently to build this grade up to what I wanted it to be? I worked hard when I went back to school because I wanted to be the best person that I was meant to be. I wanted to push myself to be the best person that I am, and someone just being given money to let someone slide is not okay to me. It's really a personal attack against everything that I did when I was in school and to get into school. I have another story about how I got into school, into the fashion design program, but that's another story for another day. But it makes no sense that we have these affluent Caucasian people thinking that they're above the law, but they may be. Because let's see how much they get dragged. Let's see how far they go in actually doing what it is that they need to do. It makes no sense that you have kids out here struggling to get into good colleges or prestigious universities and things of that nature, and we have these other lackluster people with these lackluster attitude, but their parents want to say, oh, my son got into Yale, my son got into USC, my daughter got here, my daughter went here, making you believe that they are this great scholastic mind, when the reality is you pay for them to get there. It's just sad. I mean, this touches on all kind of situations. It touches on economic class. It touches on the intellectual class. It touches on the affluent class. It was all these different things. It touches on all these different race, because thus far I haven't seen any black person name dropped in that situation. It touches on all these different things: class, race, financial situations, and abilities. It just touches on all kind of stuff. That this country is a great country, but at the same time, we need to look at these things as a whole, as to say what's really going on in this country. Let's look at these things. Let's, actually research this stuff. It makes no sense. But like I said, let's see how long this stays in the media, opposed to the R. Kelly, the Michael Jackson, the Jussie Smollett thing stayed in the media. Let's see if Felicity Huffman gets drugged and her career is ruined. Let's see if Lori Loughlin career is ruined. Let's see if they take away awards and things from them like they did, from Bill Cosby. It's funny when it's a black person being charged or accused of something, all of their good works does not outweigh the bad thing that they was accused of. All of the help and affluence that they have put out there forth in the world, all the good things, is overshadowed by this one bad thing that they were accused of doing, regardless if they was found guilty or not. But yet, let's look at this white person, or Caucasian person, I should say, and give them the benefit of the doubt, because all the judgment's not in just yet. But yet they've been charged. So why not drag them in the dirt like you drag everybody else in the dirt that is not Caucasian, I should say. But yeah, this is Food Junkie, just coming to you with this college scandal, trying to figure out what's going on. Why isn't it as big as the R. Kelly thing is. The Michael Jackson thing is that he was found innocent, proven innocent of. Let's see if Oprah and Gail and Robin Roberts touch on these topics and subjects. Just saying. Love someone else. Love yourself. Sorry. Love yourself first. Love someone else. Respect yourself. Respect someone else. If you like the content that I'm giving you, like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, have a great day. Peace.